Demolition. Joe Brinkman is Managing Director, Jet Demolition. He's joining me live, and they are the partners involved in this entire demolition that will happen tomorrow. Sudhir Krishna is former Secretary of Urban Development. You have Mr. Teotia as well. He is the Resident Welfare Association President of Supertech. And Vishal Kumar is Secretary of Noida Extension Flat Owners Welfare Association. Vishal, I'm going to begin with you. Do you see this demolition as a victory for all flat owners who have been fighting for years that this was an illegal construction which had happened just next to their societies?
Hi, Maria. As you rightly asked, do we see it a victory? Yes, I think we see as a victory from a point of view because we are also one of the petitioners against this illegal construction. But does this really a victory for flat owners, the buyers who have purchased the flats, or how it is going to be? So there was an illegal construction. This all have been stopped long way. It took around 9 years to construct such a structure, and it will take 9 seconds to demolish. So it is a national, waste of resource, waste of money. I totally agree and respect decision of Supreme Court that this has to be demolished, and it is a big lesson for all the builders. When we start doing petitioners, starting 2014, we have seen decrease in such kind of illegal constructions in nearby societies, in builders. They are afraid, but what is going to happen with the builders? This structure is being demolished. Buyers, maybe they get their refund.
Will it really be a deterrent?
But how this will be?
Will it really stop them from, not indulging in, illegal constructions of this nature?
Roaming freely.
Yes. Mr. Teotia, before I bring in others, I want to understand from you, what are the precautions that the society that is next to it are taking? I mean, in the sense that, is there a major concern, particularly of the foundation of these structures which are just next to it? I mean, these are not buildings which are standing next to a vacant territory or a vacant land. They are societies which have people living, and they are just next door buildings.
Yes, you are right. The fear amongst the close by buildings is definitely there, but by coming CBRI in the fray, they have for last 1.5 months they have ensured that all precautions are being taken by the Supertech and the edifice. Therefore, now residents are quite satisfied with the version that the CBRI is looking after the safety of these buildings which are being demolished. But at the same time, as somebody has said, that the message is very clear and loud from the Supreme Court that the nexus between the authority and the builders should be minimized or will be minimized to a great extent. And though it is a national loss of lot of money has been spent and being wasted, but at the same time the message was important to be given by the court and by the residents.
These towers were in violation of several building codes
violation
as
in the
observed by the Supreme Court,
will not be accepted,
and it is very clear,
and therefore
that's right. Noida authority was complicit in sanctioning the building plan. For 9 years the construction happened. Why didn't those who were responsible for it, because there is a nexus that was operating here, will this lead to that breaking of that nexus, which will be a first of its kind that will happen tomorrow? What will it really mean for flat owners and builders? But Mr. Brinkman, come in on this. How will Jet Demolition, which is involved in the blast tomorrow, ensure that this entire building, when it collapses, it will be an inward movement? All this sounds great as far as planning is concerned, but how confident are you that there cannot be any error? There cannot be a margin of error here.
Well, we've spent a great deal of time engineering this implosion and a great deal of time preparing the building for it. And based on experience primarily, we will be pulling the building away from the flats to the north into the open space that lies slightly to the south between the Apex and Ceyane and the pipeline, which lies to the south. And we built in a lot of redundancy in our design so that if there's any localized issues in the breakage of the concrete, it will be overcome by the other holes and the other charges. So by careful design and by building in redundancy, that is how we will control the building and make sure we don't cause damage. The concern over vibration is natural. Of the residents living close by, anyone would be concerned. But fortunately, implosions are very inefficient at causing vibration. You get a stream of particles, sometimes described as a waterfall, as you've said earlier. It's not one big thump coming down in one go. It's a stream of particles over several seconds. The actual time will be from first movement to final movement, something in the region of about 12 seconds. And over that period, there's a flow of material. We've left a crush floor at the bottom to absorb energy. We've put impact cushions around the building, forming it up of rubble. And this has worked successfully for us in the past. There's been very detailed investigations done by CBRI, also by Dr. Joseph of Geostructural, an experienced structural engineering firm. So it has been looked at very carefully. The buildings have been strengthened, these surrounding buildings where weaknesses were identified, that's all been fixed up. So we're actually in a very good position for tomorrow to make sure everything comes off without a hitch.
Yes, and you certainly seem to have a plan in place. What about the electricity and water supply? The fact is that in this entire society, that will be cut for good 2 hours. So is there a fear that that could be damaged, the internal pipelines could be impacted? And how and when will you be able to give the real picture? How soon after this blast at 2:30?
Well, the services of water and electricity are being shut off as a general precaution, and we don't anticipate any issues with those services. Immediately after the blast, we will fire it from about 100 meters away. So as soon as the dust clears after a few moments, we will be in and surveying the debris pile, looking for any possible issues. So that will be done very soon after the blast. So we're hoping by latest 3 o'clock, we can give the all clear signal. And then the procedures will allow the residents to return somewhere around 5 o'clock in the afternoon once the cleaning up of dust has taken place.
Okay.